Hello and welcome to another episode of Café 21. I'm your host, Clara Marquardt, and in the hot seat today, we have an incredible person. He's a software developer and product owner, created several in-house web apps such as AngularJS and CherryPy, participated in several hackathons, including winning Local People's Choice winner for a game about global warming in 2018, NASA Space App Challenge. He's now working on Cover Drive Cricket, a VR cricket gameplay that allows you to train and play cricket anywhere you are. For this and more, I'm super excited and honored to listen and talk to him. So I'm pleased to welcome Mark Phillips. Hi, Mark.
Hi.
How are you?
Hi, Clara. Thanks for having me. Yeah, I'm doing well today. Thank you. How are you?
Brilliant. Thank you. So the drill is 3 questions, 3 answers. Are you ready?
Yeah, let's go for it.
Great. So the first question is, can you explain what you do today and how did you start this business?
Yeah, absolutely. So I started Cover Drive Cricket maybe 18 months, 2 years ago now. It was pretty much an opportunity that fell into my lap, really. I've played cricket for 20 years, coached it for 5, loved playing it and other sports as well. And I first tried a VR headset just over 2 years ago and was surprised to find that there wasn't a cricket game for it. And then, yeah, unfortunately, I was made redundant from a previous job, but it gave me the time to invest into seeing if I could produce this. And from there, I got some advice as to whether, around how to create a business out of it. And it's just kind of snowballed from there. So yeah, as you sort of mentioned in the intro, I'd sort of dabbled in technology previously, done hackathons with some fantastic programmers, learned a lot from them. And this is sort of my first solo project, but it's really coming on quite nicely. I'm really excited as to the potential of VR and what it can do within sports and cricket, particularly at the moment.
Yeah, for sure. Well, this is actually goes to my second question because, technology and sports today, I think we cannot think of them as, we cannot dissociate these 2 concepts, and especially today. And what do you think the future holds in this field? I don't know. What is your opinion about it?
Personally, it's a bit of a cliche, but it's kind of limited by your imagination. I mean, I've got obviously a VR lens on things. So you see some really cool technology in terms of sort of courtside seats for VR for all your games. You can have a season ticket for whichever seat you want. You can see real-time stats. So there's some really cool stuff, largely baseball, American sports, or basketball. So you can see the trajectory of shots as they're taken. You can replay that from any side. So there's a lot to be said for viewership of sports, but outside of that kind of VR, AR lens of recreating sports as well. Everyone has a phone in their pocket. So even if it's just making it easier to get hold of information, there's a lot of customized sort of content, so a lot more fan interaction with players. But then you've also got Internet of Things is a bit of a buzzword as well, but it's sort of, there's all kinds of sensors you can put into stadiums, smart stadiums, essentially anything where people interact with sports is, undergoing a bit of an evolution as to make it easier for people to, watch and engage with the stuff they love. So it is a bit of a cliche, but realistically with the amount of technology and how it's evolving at the moment, it kind of is sort of a bit limitless.
Yeah, probably makes the sports more sustainable in terms of environment, and I think is one of the issues in sports. I was just thinking, do you believe that technology is actually helping people to be more active? Apart from the fact that you are watching, it allows you to watch or just be involved in sports, but just being more present or more, just have a more active life.
Yeah, absolutely. So one of the premises behind Cover Drive Cricket is that it allows you to play cricket at home, and VR space, you don't need a huge amount of space to play cricket at home, but it still works up a sweat. You're still mentally switched on. You're still physically, you can use a real cricket bat. So you're still doing a bit of a workout. There's a whole host of other applications within VR in terms of the fitness sector. So particularly during lockdown, a lot of people at home, not able to go to the gym, not able to go out running maybe as much as they'd like to, or other sports. But the VR essentially transports you into a virtual world where it's engaging and fun, and you can be working out with other people. So even in the sort of confines of sort of a small room at home, you can still be getting involved in sport and exercise. But there's a huge amount of technology being used for social purposes as well. Yeah. And that, sports social technology can be used to create those social links. So done well, I think it's a really good way for people to be motivated by others, to be involved in these team sports. And there's an app I'm aware of which makes it easier for people to be find social footballers. So just, you don't have to have a regular sort of Monday night football team, but you can just turn up and play with others. All kinds of things like that. There is a huge benefit for technology being used for good for these reasons, to help people get involved in sports in a whole host of ways.
Do you think if there's any negative side or consequence of this?
I mean, there's news stories almost weekly, aren't there, about technology being misused or abused, whether it's maybe lack of oversight from some of these social connections, sort of abusive relationships that can be formed through some of these things. Virtual reality, I'd be neglectful to mention some of the stories that come out, because abuse happens in all forms, virtual or real, unfortunately. But because technology is limitless, I like to think that with a bit more awareness from a designer's point of view, none of these things can't be overcome. There's a fantastic book I can't remember the title of, but about how a lot of technology needs to focus on women more, because there's a lot of gender bias in terms of development. Yeah. And you see products that are largely designed by men not catering for women quite so much. Again, VR is absolutely not the best example of this at the moment, but I'm hopeful that as awareness of this grows, and as hopefully gender bias in technology improves, there's absolutely no reason why these things can't be avoided, and they should be avoided. They're completely avoidable.
Okay, taking notes. So, the last question is, which advice would you give someone that wants to start working in this line of work, if you have any?
I mean, I'd say go for it. I mean, startup life isn't for everyone. That's got to be said. But at the same time, if it's for you, it is really enjoyable. I'm fortunate to be working on the intersection of two things I love, cricket and technology. But at the moment, it is just me. It has been for a little while. So I'm thankful that my girlfriend's very, very patient and very, very understanding of the journey that I've gone on. But it has been hard. But I think if you enjoy that kind of, it is a bit of a challenge, but if you enjoy that challenge, there's nothing quite so there's a certain enjoyment in creating something. And when you can see that come to life, and when you can see other people getting value from it and enjoying it, it's fantastic. So yeah, there's definitely ups and downs, but if you're thinking about it and you think it might be for you, then go for it. And there's a huge support network out there of incubators, accelerators, other people going through sort of startup life, indie developers, stuff like that. So it's not like you're on your own. There is a huge amount of support and guidance out there. So if you think it might be for you, go for it, try it. Even if it's just part-time around existing commitments. If it is for you, there's nothing better. So
that's amazing. Well, thank you so much, Mark, for sitting in the hot seat today. We wish you all the best from STGC.
Thank you very much, Clara. Lovely chatting with you today.